Hopefully y'all can hear me. What's going on, people? Wanted to do this live real quick to check up on y'all. Give some updates real quick. See what we get in here first minute. I got my AirPods, so hopefully y'all can hear me. Hand up. Salute. Yo, what up? What up? What's that? Let me stop walking. King Darian, what's the deal? So many questions, man. So many questions. A lot of emails this week. There's a lot going on. What that, John? What's that? Jam? What's the deal? What it do? It's going good, actually. Cool out here. Ascended Master. Yeah, follow that course, you're gonna be good. Follow that course, man. Follow that first video. It's game over after that. Everything else is just extra shit that come with it that's just gonna make you a beast. I've been doing it for years. You know, you master one store, you get it running. Once you learn that site and you know, you see how stuff go, you build another one. And then you keep them going. You know, after a while, you know, you see how it works out. You know, order some of your products, understand how the shipping works, how fast stuff comes. And I just put y'all on to 2 new places to get stuff quicker. You're gonna be straight. Yeah, that's all you need, 44 minutes. Just watch it. And then it's a bunch more. So you have the Amazon course in there, you have the wholesale that's in there. Watch those wholesale videos. Make sure you watch personal economics series, a whole lot. Rue, what's the deal? Yeah, that's a real informative 44 minutes. Oh yeah, so you'll see in the video is the red arrows. The red arrows point to everything you need to click on, so it's real simple. That way I ain't gotta keep saying where you need to go to, and you don't gotta be looking all over through the screen trying to figure out where to go. I put red arrows everywhere you need to click on in that series. It makes it real easy for you to click on shit and know exactly where you're going. Your screen is gonna look like my screen, so it's gonna be easy. Yeah, against all odds, it's the same course except for it's some new videos. So if you have the updated link, then you get all the new videos. But you should, if you was in the society early, you got all that. So if you already have it, then you're good to go. It's just anybody that's new is not getting these series, the Shopify course. You good? So just make sure, like if you watched it already, you already got your site going, make sure you check the 2 new videos that came. So I've added 2 new videos. I want to keep adding videos. As a matter of fact, I think there's a new video coming up next week. So I wanted to give you guys 2 new importers. So it's 2 new importers on there that you want to make sure you're using because they're American. And you want to make sure you have a lot of American importers so your customers can get their shit early. Or quicker, I should say. So one of them is 3 days or less. So that's the best bet in competing with Amazon. problem. What up, King? What you need help with? If you send me an email, I probably, I don't even know if I got it already. Who knows? I mean, it's trust me, man, it's easy to get stuck, but don't skip through the video. Like, really watch the video, pay attention, because you can't get stuck with it. I made it real easy. I made it stuck proof. Like, you can't get stuck. It's real easy to follow along. And the only place you're probably going to get stuck with is on design, because there was no point in me walking you through design, because then you'll just be copying my design. So I showed you guys how to actually set up your site. But if you want to get crazy with it and make a dope site, you know, it's a lot of videos on YouTube to like really go in. But to make a nice static site that's still going to look dope and clean, just follow what I showed you in the video. You're good to go. Unless you want to pay $125 for one of the pre-made stores. But I recommend just learning that shit on your own. Ascended Master, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, Christianity is a tough transition, man. That's one of the things I want to talk about in this live, because a lot of people, you know, asking questions about, you know, what I was saying before about, you know, realizing what the Bible is. Like, a lot of people just think you're supposed to throw the Bible in the trash, and I don't want to give people that understanding. It's like, you need the book. Like, one of the things that I realized that used to mess with my head when I was really getting into this stuff, when I was going to the Masonic lodges and hanging around a lot of those people, those dudes pray, man. A lot of those guys pray. A lot of those guys thank Jesus and thank God. And it always stuck with me, and it was weird, because I was like, I know these people don't really believe in this shit, so why do they always talk about God and Jesus and praise Jesus and everything? And I had to realize, oh, they talk about themselves. And that's what you got to realize with the rappers and everything. They talk about themselves. All that shit is Masonic. All them celebrities and rappers that be talking about thank you Jesus and thank you God, they talking about themselves. I said it before. It's just hard for people to accept that, because you know the world, the way the world is. You think they're talking about the biblical Jesus or the biblical God. They talk about themselves, plain and simple. And when you go to the lodges, if you ever go to a lodge, or you ever be around Shriners and Masons and shit, they the same way. And it's like, damn, like you start to get it. You start to understand how shit works, and you know what the whole thing is about. But it's weird for a while when you start to get into it, because everything in you is to be against it. But once you get deeper into the understanding of it, you understand what it really means and what all the you know, the praise is about, and it's really for yourself. Yeah, link is in the description. You go to my last video. Link is in the description for consultations. Anybody that want to do it. I just did like 4 today. So you know, make sure you get the time, because they get booked up. So like I said, if you pick a time, it's not guaranteed. If you receive an email, I'll ask you for a different date if it's booked up. But make sure you get it, because yeah, people book up quick. Angie, what's the deal? Exactly. King Darian, best and worst book ever. Dualistic. GNF, email me my money. Email me my money first. Oh yeah, Charlie Kirk funeral was crazy. They're gonna be talking about that for a while. But what you expect? If you try joining a society, it depends on when you try to join. If you didn't get accepted, then shoot an email. We'll see why. Simple Ben, yeah, Eagles all day. You already know. We bailed ourselves out that last game, but yeah, it saved a lot of people a lot of money because I mean the money was on the Rams, you know, it was plus, but I mean the majority of people had their money on the Eagles and they almost blew that shit. But you know, I'm a Philly kid, so I always represent. Eric, what's the deal? I don't even know, man. Charlie, I think because if you guys remember when they had to visit to the White House and he was in there basically, he gave a lot of speeches, he did a lot of cool shit basically supporting black people. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, we look at Trump, a lot of people call Trump racist, but go and look at Trump's record and he's on record multiple times giving black people props. I mean, people just skip over that shit. Trump came out and said, hey, black people built America. You just now starting to get credit for it. You know, remember, Donald Trump was the one who lobbied, I always talk about this before, back in the day for black people to be allowed to trade on the stock exchange, and he put up money for it. So, you know, before all this shit, most of Trump's friends was black. He hung out with a lot of black boxers. Sugar Ray Leonard, one of his best friends. So it's like, it's politics, man. It's how that shit goes. So Kirk is on record saying a lot of supportive stuff for black people. Same as Trump. It's just the media wants to keep the divide there. They want to keep pushing it. So, you know, it's like somebody just posted this earlier. So if you pay attention, somebody compiled a lot of videos of LeBron throwing shade at white kids. And nobody's talking about the shit. It's a lot of videos now. And he just got one recent. Him not giving high fives to white kids, him cussing out white kids. Like LeBron is on record like throwing shade at white kids. Now, if it was the other way around and there was a white player doing the same thing to black kids, it'd be all over the news. But they don't want it. They don't want that narrative. They don't want that narrative. They don't want the black, you know, because we're almost sort of justified in doing what we do, but they want to keep the racism pushing. So if a white person do it, they're gonna make sure, you know, it's news. So yeah. That's what's the deal. Rohan. The Cabala is everything. Real Queen, what up? The Cabala is the Bible, man. The Cabala is, you know, the temple in Karnak, the tree of life. It's your chakras, it's your nervous system, it's everything. It's dimensions, it's so much shit. And the more you get into it, the more you realize how deep it is and that we only scratch the surface of the bottom part of it, which is, you know, physical, it's Malakuf. We're like, it's so much shit we don't know, man, but like, it's like finding parts to a car. So you know those parts belong to a car, but you can't find the rest to put together the full car. So you're just stuck with parts. But you know eventually you're gonna have a car when you find all these parts. That's where we at right now. We just got fucking pieces and bits and pieces, but we know what it is. We know what it's going to be, right? And it's like, damn, we got to keep finding these parts and put the shit together to you know, make the car so we can get the fuck out of here. Get that vehicle together, boom, we gone. And that's where we at right now. So much information to put together, so much stuff that makes sense. We know what it is. We know what's going on. It's just like, man, like finding everything and putting it all together to make sure, you know, we know what make and model, what brand, you know, what engine, you know, what speed, all that shit. There's a lot more to it. So this is where we at. Yep. XRP gonna be fine, man. It's gonna keep doing what it's doing. D Griff, what's the deal? Yeah, the Cabala is everything, man. Study the Cabala. You guys already know. T-shirts is money, man. T-shirts is so much money. You guys see on my YouTube channel, I got the T-shirts underneath my videos. You can see it. Click on it. I make a shitload. I probably make $3 grand a month, $4,000 a month off of those T-shirts. T-shirts always go and sell. If you get creative with them, I know me personally, if I see a shirt, I don't give a fuck who made it, but if I see a shirt that go with something, or if it's a dope shirt to me, I buy it. It's just that simple. And that's how most people is. Like, if you make a nice dope T-shirt, and it shows well, you're going to sell that joint out every time. Like, you just got to make dope shit. It's the one dude make T-shirts that go with all the Jordans. Like, that's just smart. People making T-shirts that go with Vans. Like, it's a lot of shit you can do. You can get real creative. I talked about this in one of the videos. I bought an entire company that was making graphics out of carrots. Like, he took carrots, but he made like cartoon characters out of them. Like, it was like Carrot Predator or Carrot Luke Kane, stuff like that. He did a whole line. I bought the whole entire company because I was like, yo, this is dope. It's just sitting on my computer and I ain't do shit with it yet. But it's a lot I can do with it. But they show real well on T-shirts. And that's what I took from it. I was like, damn, this look dope on T-shirts. And it looked dope on kids' T-shirts. So I bought the licensing, everything. I bought the entire company from dude. I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's doing broccoli or some shit, who knows. But the carrot shit, I own it. Mr. Damn Man, what's the deal? Yeah, XRP ain't going nowhere, man. I told you guys, I thought it was gonna go lower. But I said it before a couple of lives ago. I said expect XRP to drop. I was expecting it to go back into like the high one, like 170, 180. You know, it's still hovering in that 280 range. I'm expecting it to drop a little bit more. But that's what they want. We know the big leap is supposed to be coming at the end of the year. And as long as people seeing it going down, they're gonna be selling. Holiday season coming up, like this is where people get real tight with their money. All right, people get real tight with their money, but then at the same time, they know at the end of the year, people are going to spend a lot of money. You know, you got Black Friday, you got holidays, so it's the time where people get tight with money on certain shit, so they can spend it on holiday shit. It's stupid, but this is how the market works, and it's like everybody's going to be getting ready for that. The question is what they're going to do to make it so people spend more. If they spend more, stock's going to go up, but that's what we expect. So if it's a problem with trade, which that's the big one, then, you know, it's going to be a problem with everything else. Prices are going to go up on toys or whatever the hell people are trying to buy, and that's going to be an issue. So we got to stay tuned for that. But yeah, XRP, I expect at the end of the year to make a big rebound, but I expect it to drop again before then. So make sure you got your money ready. If that shit hit under 2, buy as fast as possible because it's going to jump right back up. Yeah, D Griff, that's smart. You already know anime is money. Mr. Taylor, what's the deal? Anubis, my guy, what's the deal? No, Ben, wait a little bit longer. Blood Moon, what's the deal? A little bit longer, it's gonna go down some more. Yeah, you are like Anubis. You should be good. You're running the original, so you have access to it. So go to Podia. You should be able to log in and get the video. You should be straight. If not, shoot me an email so I make sure you get it. Yeah, so a lot of news with XRP. I mean, like I said, Ripples keep getting news, and like I said, the writing is on the wall with that shit. They're gonna keep playing around with it. It's gonna keep doing what it's doing. I said this shit months ago. It's gonna keep going up, down, up, down. They want people to sell, because it looked like right now it's not going to do what everybody said it was going to do, and that's what they want people to think. At the end of the year, everybody gonna have a choice to make. You got so many people sitting on that stock. What the fuck you gonna do? At some point, they're trying to force the people who need to sell, because you got this money sitting there. If it look like it keeps dropping, you gotta do what you gotta do. People gonna sell that shit off, and that's what they're waiting for. So let it get low. I mean, common sense will tell you if it get low, buy. But a lot of people are not gonna do that. It's gonna do the same as a Bitcoin. Oh yeah, yo, what's up with the fucking Hebrews, man? Come on. These dudes like fucking super roaches, boy. They do not die. These motherfuckers still hanging around. Like, I was just talking with, like, people really believe this shit, yo. It's just so crazy to me that people still believe this Hebrew Israelite shit. But I'm gonna keep dropping shit. Trust me, because I get those questions a lot. You know, most of the new people, especially the younger people, they hear that information and they want to know more about it, or like, you know, if it's true or not. I don't know how anybody would think it is, but these dudes ain't going nowhere. They out there, they go hard for that shit. And remember, they believe that you can't see the truth of God. This is their thing. You can't see the true message of God because you haven't let God in your heart. That's why you think this shit is wrong. Like, because you just can't see it. Like, you're so lost in sin or whatever the hell that your heart can't open up to the message of God. Or that's what these people think. So no matter what you say, 1 + 1 don't equal 2 to them. No matter what you say to them, you just not one of the chosen people. You're a fucking Edomite. Or Hamite, whatever the fuck they want to call you. Root, what's the deal? Hoop Daddy, what's up? Yeah, like, y'all, I'm telling you, like, it's so easy now. It's so easy now to really refute that doctrine. It's just too much out there. I mean, the last few videos I put out, I mean, it kills it already. It's just enough. So, like I said, at the end of the day, these people got to go off faith, and that's all they got. They don't got any proof. And to them, that's good enough. For me, it's not. For most people, it's not. Not in 2025, almost 2026. People want to see some facts, and they ain't got none. So they're going to be stuck where they at. It's still point to even talking with these people who going to go right to the Bible. Like, you asking them for proof, they open up the Bible like the Bible was proven. And it's not proven. The book is in question. So it's like, this is what we got to deal with. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm cool with some Hebrews. I'm cool with a lot of Christians. I always tell them guys, you know, do what you do. You need to understand what this stuff really is. But I in no way want people to ignore the word of the Bible or the word of God or Jesus or what have you. That's what you're supposed to listen to. You just can't take that shit to heart as if it's actual history when it's not. You know, so however you want to do it, you know, you go through your ritual. You go through how you are, you know, an understanding of worship, but understanding that worship is for yourself, for your God, for your consciousness, for your understanding, and not some fucking white man in a painting on the wall or some shit. Put the energy back into yourself. Yeah. Heart, mind, consciousness. Oh yeah. Oh man, they got their hold on 1 second. The the debates over the Ptolemy situation is so funny. Because like at this point, it just depends on what Hebrew you're dealing with, right? Because now I think a lot of the smart ones escape from the King James Version shit, and they go more towards the, you know, they try to use the Masoretic text, or they try to use the, you know, the original, well, we don't have no original. They try to use either the Dead Sea Scrolls, their interpretation of that, or the, what's it, not Texas Scriptures, what am I missing? What's the name of this Bible? Masoretic text, yeah, the Masoretic text. Because it's like, you know, the Hebrew. We know the Dead Sea Scrolls is bullshit. We know that now. And they're trying to make it like they got their understanding of the Bible, Hebrew Bible, from the older manuscripts and not the King James Version. When it's bullshit because they're not the same. They don't say the same thing, which I already proved that and shown that. So if you want to go by the King James Version, you still got to take it back to the Septuagint, which comes from the white Greeks. Ptolemy the Second Philadelphians. As I always talk about, it goes back to them. There's no way around that shit. So that's the killer for them. That's why they want you to believe that King James was a black man who had his spirit put on him, and you know was ordained by God, him and his fucking scribes, to give us the true translation of you know, God's word in the King James Version, which is all bullshit. Without the Textus Rescriptus, you know, and anyway, it's not like he made up his mind to go do this. It was the Protestants that got him to do this, that commissioned him to create the King James Version. So it's not like a spirit was put on him when we know what happened and what it was. And then, you know, you just got to look at everything that's around that whole situation. It's all suspect. So, and none of it goes back to the manuscripts that we have. It's not the same. It's completely different, which is why we got so many different versions. LR36, so what's the deal? Yeah, I mean, I broke that whole down. I mean, Jesus is a Mason. That's what they're trying to tell you anyway. Because if you, like, it just goes back to what I was just saying earlier. When you understand the Masonic point of view of it all, it's basically, you know, it's telling you what Jesus is basically saying. And it's why I gave you guys the whole Jesus the Mason, 33, everything that's around him is Masonic. Him being a carpenter, or what have you, is Mason. Tectone is the Hebrew spelling, which goes back to Mason or carpenter, or what have you. So it's giving you all that. It's giving you all that information to take you back to there, because they will be who is giving you that real understanding of what Jesus represents. Which is why I was saying before, you know, it's weird when you hang around these dudes who don't actually believe in the biblical Jesus Christ or anything like that, yet they still pray, yet they still thank God and thank Jesus, and it's confusing when you don't understand, right? So you'll see a lot of these celebrities, like I said, don't get fooled. That's one of the reasons why you'll see Kanye, Jesus walks. You understand? How could Jesus walk if he not alive, he's dead? How is he walking? You got to pay attention to the words, to pay attention to what people are saying, and when they think in Jesus and thinking God, they have to always put that out there like that. They got to put it out there because they know it's them, but they can't tell you that. It's like, you know, like I told you guys, there's rules. They can't break it down. That's why it's confusing when you see one of these dudes talk about the universe, you know, putting it out to Charlemagne does this shit all the time. Charlemagne will be talking about the universe, then he'll be talking about Jesus and God and so on and so forth. And it's like, what the fuck? But I know this dude know his shit. So that's why that's like that. And it's like once you're around it more, you start to see it, you understand it. I just didn't really pick up on it when I was younger. I didn't start to pick up on it until I got around more, let me just say, you know, more deeper Masonic people to start really explaining shit. And then you get it. And it's like, oh, I mean, it's common sense now. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one that's going to make anything happen. You start to peep it. But in the beginning, when you're trying to separate yourself from it and wake people up, and it's kind of like this war going on against you and the religious people, so you don't really want to be on their side. And it's like, damn, like, you know, there is really no side. It's a dualistic thing. You in and you out. You know, you're for Jesus, you're against Jesus. And that's the way it's meant to be. You understand? That's why I said it's a dualistic book. Everything is dualistic about it. You want to talk against Jesus, but you want to talk for Jesus. You want to talk against the preachers, but you want to sound like a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird. You want to talk against Christianity, but you want to basically be like Christians as far as, you know, the worship. But it goes back to you, and it goes back to the Spirit, which would be the Holy Spirit, which would still be you. It's deep. It's crazy. When you start breaking it down, it starts to make a lot of sense. Exactly. Yep. Hoop Daddy. Oh yeah. Angel, what's the deal? Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, we are the two entities at once, basically. I mean, when you look at it biblically, that's basically what it's saying anyway. You know, when you start to really realize that and look at it, it makes the most sense. Because I always said the biggest thing for me was if Satan is God's greatest adversary and he created him, because I never got that. How the fuck you supposed to be all-knowing and what have you? You create your greatest adversary? How you not know that? How you not see that one coming? You're supposed to know all and see all. Well, how the hell you not know the angels was going to rebel? How you not know the serpent was in the garden tempting Eve? So it's like it can't be talking about this biblical God being all-knowing and what have you. Like the Bible says, like anything you can't do nothing in secret. God's going to see stuff that you do in secret and quietly, because it's you. You can't hide from yourself. That makes the most sense when you start to look at it that way. Like, damn, he knows all because it's talking about you. You know all. You know yourself. You can't run from your own thoughts. You're going to know your own thoughts. So what makes sense that the God is talking about is you. And that's why it fits there, because it can't be talking about this biblical God knowing everything, because clearly he don't. He repents in the Bible. What the fuck God need to repent for? Right? Jealousy. Who is jealous? We are. We have jealousy. God has human traits in the Bible because it's human. It's you. So it starts to all make sense after a while when you get to a point of understanding and understanding emotions and feelings and stuff like that, and what that energy is about. But yeah, it's just that's all it's trying to tell you is you. Oh yeah, Trump going full dictator for real. But that's like what he preys on. He plays at being a dictator when you look at how he's authoritative. You know what I'm saying? Trump he's no diplomat at all. The guy is he's a tyrant. He's a dictator for real. And he speaks towards what his commands is, speaking them out, is saying them. It's not, trying to reach across the aisle, as they say, being partisan, bipartisan, and trying to extend an olive branch. He gives orders. He says what should be done. Like, this is what's going to happen, and so on and so forth. So, for sure, that's how he is. Yeah, Anubis, that's hilarious. Lord Trump. New bodies, like that's the dumbest shit I heard. It's like when I first started studying physics, quantum physics, quantum mechanics and everything like that, and started studying like subatomic levels, particles and everything, and just matter itself. And then because you can think one thing, but then there's the laws of the universe. It's like physics. It's what exists. And when you begin to understand that shit and that it's nothing around that, we would like to think it is. It's a train about to go by. But yeah, we would like to think it is because we think like how we think about God, that anything is possible. We're talking about laws of existence that you can't break. So the notion that you could die, go to hell, and your body is on earth, but somehow you're in hell also burning a physical body for eternity. Now, if I get a piece of paper and I set that shit on fire, it's going to be gone soon. There's going to be nothing left after a while. The same is so for your body. So how is something going to burn eternally in a physical? And like you feel emotions and feelings in a physical form, you know, but if you don't have a physical body, you won't feel such a thing. So what could it be talking about? Hell is here. It's talking about hell being here, you being back here in the physical world where you can feel physical pain. That's all it is. It makes the most sense any fucking way. Yeah, that's the strip. The strip is always lit. Trust me, Vegas is Vegas. Yeah, heaven and earth shall pass away. Heaven and earth is right here. Like, I mean, when you understand and you start reading certain Bible verses, it kind of give you that understanding of going somewhere else. But then you have to realize you go to that place every time you go to sleep at night. Like you exist in so many different places at so many different times, and you have to choose or understand how to shift in and out of different places. If you think about it, if you look at it this way, if you guys remember, what was that? The one, Jet Li. If you haven't seen the one, Jet Li, go and watch that. It's one of the deepest movies ever. And understanding that it was infinite hymns and different dimensions, different realities, and what have you. But you got to think about if you're infinite, right? There's so many different things for you to exist in. So you think about if you die here and then you move somewhere else, and what would be the difference? The connection would be either you know or you don't know. That's the difference. Either you know or you don't know. But it would be the same as when you sleep, because when you sleep you don't know. But are you still existing? Yeah. So that's the difference right there. It's like, okay, you go to sleep, you're still you, but you don't know, that you're asleep. You're moving into something different as far as dimensional wise and consciousness wise, but the real you is still existing physically. So there's still an existence, if you understand. So if you think about you die and you're gone in this physical body, your existence is always existing. Different dimensions, different levels, so on and so forth. So it's almost as if you're immortal. You don't die. So that's what the Bible is giving you when you think about it. You're existing in so many different places at so many different times. What is the difference between when you're sleeping and when you die? You understand? What's the difference, right? Consciousness. Being conscious of that is the only difference. So if you think about when you go to sleep and you're dreaming, whatever that world you're in, that is reality to you in that point. In that moment of sleeping and dreaming, wherever you're at, that is the reality you are in then, right? So what happens when you die? Only difference is you're going to wake up and come back to the physical when you sleep, right? You die and you go on to somewhere else, and then think about waking up. So the difference will be when you begin to understand, and it's going to suck for some of you, you're going to wake up in a baby body. That's going to be the difference. You're going to wake up in your mother's womb, and that's going to be the difference. And all knowledge is going to be gone eventually at some point. It's not like you're going to be able to speak. You're going to be able to retain some of that information. As a child, as a baby in the womb, you're going to have those, supposedly, those thoughts, and everything is going to start really going away the more you develop until it's gone. And then, you're going to start all over again. And that's what you don't want. That's what you don't want. Jay, what's the deal? Appreciate you. Don't send no money to this thing, though. They don't give us that money. Yeah, you forget, man. You gotta think about it, man. Like you, and I say this all the time, man. We electrify our electronics, right? We animate them. Your laptop, without you plugging it in, you know, unless it got a battery, it ain't shit, right? Let's use TV as an analogy. Your TV, without you plugging it in, is not shit. Until that electricity gets to it and animates the whole box, it's nothing. It's a fucking paperweight, right? So as long as we're existing in these bodies, this energetic body, and we're here, and as long as we're here, we're basically conformed to the brain and the heart, you know, the DNA, everything that lies in that is running in this program, right? And the DNA is already full of so much coding and programming and everything like that. And just like your TV is programmed for you to have certain apps and so on and so forth. You want different apps, you got to download it. You want to learn jujitsu, guess what? You got to download it. You got to learn it. It's the same shit. So when you begin to understand and look at it that way, you look at it as if, you know, I got different. The electricity is forever. TV can die. You can break the motherfucker and go buy another one, right? You're going to plug it back into the wall. Guess what? If you got that same brand or same model, the same shit is going to be on it. You just have to reprogram the channel, so on and so forth. Boom. It's the same TV all over again, right? It's just different a little bit. You might do something different. You might change something, right? But the knowledge you retain, that's the difference between the TV and us. The knowledge is still there because the box is made the same way. It's the same DNA, if you think about it, right? So if you died in this body and somehow the same makeup genetically of you, a carbon copy was done, right? You come back into the body, if it's the same thing, then boom, you're gonna have those same instances, right? So you gotta look at it that way. But we are this divine spark that is gonna basically animate the DNA, awaken the DNA, awaken the neurons and everything else that has so much coding and information already in it. Like you see it with your kids, if you pass down the knowledge to your kids, that's why they do stuff like you did. And it's still there. Now, when you really look at it that way, you start to think about, it's like, I ain't gonna say it's easy, but I'm pretty sure for them it is. It wouldn't be fucking hard to clone a person. It wouldn't be hard to make another person when you understand it in that capacity. Because then you begin to understand, oh, this is all it takes. I just need the DNA. I need the DNA and the energy is already here. It's just, I know when that energy animates this body, what this body is going to do. Because the energy can't control itself once it gets into that body. It can't be God when it gets into that body. It's Jesus. It's mortal. It can't be all-knowing, all-powerful God in that flesh, right? Because the DNA and everything is going to change. Like the brain and heart is going to be completely different. It's going to be programmed. And the whole fight of it all, and it's maybe too deep for some people, the fight of it all is to bypass that program, to be a fucking hacker. That's why Neo was a hacker in the Matrix, if you understand. But when Neo hacked the shit, right, when he figured it all out, he became the one. He became fucking God, right, because he hacked it. Look at your body the same way as a computer. You have to hack that motherfucker. And when you hack it, your dreams change. I have hacked it, others have hacked it as well. So when we sleep, we're Neo in the Matrix. Understand? It's the same shit. Same type of concept. When you hack that shit, you change everything. Everything gets different. And that's what Neo did that the rest of them could not do, right? He hacked it. He became the one. And that's what it's about. So it's death of the physical form, so to speak. But it's a program. So you don't never really die. You just transcend. It's deep shit. Some of you will get, some of you won't. Jay, what's the deal? Philly born and raised. Yeah, D. Griff, exactly. Yeah, so, you know, most people, that's why the Bible talk about, you know, only a certain amount of people is going to make it to heaven, what have you. Because most people, when they die, they come right back here. Because you got to look at it this way. Okay, so I talked about this before, and it's going it's one of those deep things a lot of people not going to get or be able to accept. And, you know, termination, man. Like, oh, man, this shit is so deep. Like I said before, man, you guys got to understand how shit works. Because, okay, if you want to fucking admit that there's an all-powerful God out there, right? And everybody want to say, oh, we're God, and the subconscious is God, and all-powerful, all-knowing. The Bible's telling you this too, right? So what makes you think that your subconsciousness, your God, is slipping, right? Why would you ever think that? So when the Bible is saying that God is all-knowing, it's talking about you, what makes you think this God is slipping or making a mistake or what have you? It's not. It has rules it has to abide by. You have choices to make. It can only go by those choices. It can only do what it can do to make the choices that you make become this reality. But it have to go off your choices. It can only influence you a little bit. It can only pull stuff in that you choose to have it pull in. And as I told you guys before, none of this shit is an accident. I gave you the final destination analogy. It's trying to tell you something. That when you deviate from that plan, when your subconscious calculates that, guess what? You ain't gonna make it, bruh. You ain't gonna get there. Your parents fucked you, your job fucked you, your choices fucked you somehow, some way. And it's not gonna waste its time in that body. It's not. It's going to calculate your death, and you're gonna be fucking gone. So the thing is, one, I can't just say this shit to people. You know, when I say it, it sounds stupid, it sounds spooky and crazy, but this is what happens. This is what happens. Like, it's not a fucking coincidence. I mean, no, to us, it's common sense. If you're a gangbanger, 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up in jail for the rest of your life or fucking dead. Prison saves you. It saves you. And that's the reason why prison is associated, life is associated with death in prison, right? The death penalty or the rest of your life in jail. Humanity would tell you life in prison because you want to survive and live. But what the fuck is the point, right? What is the point of that? You might as well start over. It's cruelty. Like I always tell people, I would want the death penalty. I don't want to fucking spend the rest of my life in prison. That's real hell. That's you being in hell. You really in hell then. But the death penalty is the more humane thing because then you get to start over, right? So the calculation will be done. And when you don't, it's what I keep telling people, the knowledge is important. Get the knowledge, understand. The numbers will tell you, it will guide you. Follow those plans, man. You can start to see this shit, right? And this is even for Christians, because Christians don't even know they're following a divine plan. They talk about it, but they think it's Jesus, they think it's God, but it's really still them. But they can live good lives. They can live good and follow. That's why I don't knock Christians or people that follow a religious path, because I understand what that really is about, except for they don't know. They still fucked in the end, but they still follow a path to where they can get done something they need to get done in the physical form. But again, as soon as your subconscious calculate the shit is not going to happen, what I need you to do while you're here is not going to get done, then you're gone. Like I said, the math will get done. And the math will add up to some fucking type of demise for you. And that's what it'll be. And to you and to everybody else, it'll be like, oh, well, you know, he got hit by a bus. It was an accident, right? And what we say, there's no such thing as accidents, right? So you got to understand what so many movies have tried to tell you over the years. So many things has been trying to warn you and tell you about what this shit is about. And people think it's a joke until it's too late. And calculation is up. The time is up. It's all math. It's all math. When you begin to understand that math shit, it get real spooky. That's why I was talking about Kobe. When I get into Kobe, when I talk about the math, and this the spookiest shit I've ever seen. That's why I talk about it, because the calculations is all there, man. It was like, I don't know what the fuck this guy was supposed to do, but he was doomed from birth. And it seemed like he had choices to make, he just didn't make them. And it's creepy. But after a while, again, when they do the so-called sacrifices, they have to do them on the numbers for a reason, because you fucking with, let's just say, divine intervention, so to speak. But you're fucking with the calculation, the numbers. And it's not good, so it has to be done on the numbers. So it's, again, I explained this in the video, but it's a lot. It's real deep shit. And, you know, when you begin to understand it on this level, and you're waking yourself up, and you start to get this information and knowledge and open things up, and realize, you know, what way you should be going. And it could be anything. I'm not saying you're supposed to do some, you know, holy meditation, crazy shit. You could be cool just working your regular job and having a regular life. It's something in that for you, that your subconscious still puts you on the path to do that, because that's what you're doing, right? You just got to follow it and don't deviate from it. and you know, you'll get where you need to get to. Mama, what's the deal? Ace Cloud, what's the deal? Direct energy weapons. Man, don't even get me started with. Forget direct energy weapons. They got frequency weapons. And that's the one I would worry about. That's the one that's like, excuse me. That's the one that's like fucking Dr. Manhattan off of fucking, what you call it? That shit is, man, they got shit that can play a tune that'll fucking have all your molecules just reset. And fucking skin and shit just fall off, all kinds of shit that they can do with frequency alone. Like, man, the weapons these people probably got is probably some outrageous shit. I don't even want to think about it. I just know what's possible. I know what's possible. I know what we can do already now with frequency, what we already know, with cymatics and what have you. So I can imagine the type of weaponry they done already came up with. It's just they can't display some shit like that. But we did see it on full display 9/11. Because there's no fucking way in the world. You guys saw the videos. The whole top of that fucking building was falling over. And it just poof. Like, do you guys understand what it would take to pulverize that much steel and concrete like that in a fucking second? So we know they have some shit. That was when I knew right there. I already knew, but that's when I really knew, when I saw that. That shit was fucking crazy. But the weaponry they got, yeah, it's next level. Even me being in the military and seeing what we have, what we're capable of, that's why when people be talking that, oh man, we gotta fight these people, I'd be like, y'all crazy. This shit gonna be over in seconds. They don't even gotta put no boots on the ground. But yeah, their weaponry gotta be stupid at this point. Ain't no fighting them. Simply Ben, you're gonna always be around unconscious people, bro. Don't even worry about that. It's about yourself. Just think about you and what you gotta do. It's gonna always be, it's nowhere you're gonna go, right? Unless you leave this country and go somewhere and live off the land and be around a bunch of people that's like-minded. You're gonna be around unconscious people, right? It's just gonna be that way. At work, you know, supermarket or what have you. But if they're in your immediate life, like boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, whoever it may be, you gotta be around them, then you got choices to make. And that's what I just goes back to what I was saying to you before. Choices. And that's what it's about. And some of the choices that people think is so hard, it's not. It's really easy as fuck. And you always got to remember in life, like, what you're supposed to do is going to be the hardest choice. This is how it is, right? The easy choice is not going to be, you know, it's going to be something you want to do, right? I got to get up and go to work. Like, the easy choice would just be stay the fuck asleep. I'm tired. I don't want to go to work. The easy choice is stay the fuck in the bed. But you know, it's consequences to that. You can lose your job, which is how you feeding yourself and paying your rent. There's consequences to those choices. And it's the same in this situation. You just gotta, you know, you gotta make a choice. Do I want to be around these people? What type of value are they bringing to my life? And is that value really worth it? So if it's worth it on the monetary stage, then you still got a choice to make. Spiritually, then you wouldn't have a problem at all. So choices, man. I done left all those people alone so long ago. Like my recruiter, when I first went into the Navy, he told me, he said, man, you know, because he would come up and check up on me. I'm around a bunch of drug dealers and I had to stand up for these guys because I would keep it real. Like, I was a kid growing up in an abandoned house. I was a teenager growing up in an abandoned house with no electricity, and the drug dealers looked out. The hustlers looked out for me on the strip of my brother because he was a hustler. But I had people who we look down to in the black community, who I talk against even still to this day because I know what they're doing. But I'll look up to those guys because they did the right thing, and not everybody that's in a bad situation or you think you should stay away from means they're a bad person, right? They looked out for me. You know, it was times I didn't have food. You know, dudes made sure I was eating, I was safe, whatever. And these hustlers, these goons, like real killers. But they knew me and they was cool, they knew my situation, they looked out. So the thing is, you become a man at some point. You get older and you understand situations and what you want to do. And it's like, all you can do is, if somebody is not trying to go that route with you, which is a better route for, I mean, reality, real life, you got to separate. You got to get away from these people. You got to separate. It's one of the questions I get a lot, man. So many people that's in that same type of situation. And it's a choice you got to make, man. It's going to be uncomfortable. It could be. You could lose some shit, possibly. But at the end of the day, man, it's not going to be, nothing going to be better than having that peace of mind and being in the right energy, the right atmosphere that you need to be in to make shit happen for you, to attract the right shit for you. How are you going to tell the frequency, the energy, that you want something positive when you surround yourself with negative shit, right? When you're bombarded with negative shit, negativity, like the frequency can't come in. You know, your consciousness can't expand with all that shit blocking it. So you gotta get away from it. And when you do, everything changes. Yeah, XRP, I just talked about it earlier. I expected to drop a little bit more. Like I said, man, they playing the game. They're going to keep doing this, up, down, up, down, up, down. But they know end of the year is a lot coming up. But at the same time, we got to look at markets. We got to make sure trade is going to be doing well. But these people have already warehouse and hoarding all this shit for the holiday season. So we're not even going to play that game. We know they stockpiled for the holiday season. Excuse me, because they didn't know what tariffs was going to do. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. Inflation is the issue. You know, the Fed and everything that's going on with interest rates, that's an issue. But I don't, like, Ripple is doing so much, man. Ripple is not playing. That's why I know XRP going to blow the fuck up. And that's how we know they playing the game, keeping it down, making it fluctuate up and down. But I was just telling my son earlier to wait a little bit. You know, because I think it's going to go down a little bit more, and that's going to be the time to buy. I think it's going to probably go under 2 again, and it's going to go back. I know the end of the year is going to shoot up high. I'm waiting for it to drop a little bit more because I'm ready to buy more. I was tempted today, but I know it's going to go down a little bit more, maybe even a lot more, just for them to clear away the suckers before the holiday season. So just be ready for that. Have your money ready, because when that shit drop, you know, load up. Make sure you moving your profits, your gains into cash, and not letting them sit there and lose that money. You understand? So like I said before, if your shit goes up $1, you know, and you got 1,000 shares, you want to take out $1,000 and move it over to cash. Because if it drops $1, guess what? You don't get that $1,000. You just lost it. But if you take it out, at least you have that gain. And if it dropped, you ain't lose shit. You already took the gain out. Yeah, I showed you guys real quick what's the deal. Yeah, Thailand, man. I've been to Thailand a few times. And you're going to see black people there. There's a lot of black people that live there. Most jobs out there for, you know, expats is usually tech. A lot of those guys move over there, they open businesses. A lot of people open like little Airbnbs and restaurants and shit like that. Because you got to remember, I talked about this before. I think you only get about 55% in Thailand. They really take care of their people. It's what Trump is claiming he wants to do here. So if you go to Thailand and you open a business, you're only going to own 55% of that business. The rest of it is going to go to the Thai people. They're literally going to give money to their people in that, let's just say, area, zip code that we're having. That's how it works. But, I mean, it's worth it because there's still so many benefits and shit is so cheap. You can still make a good living. That number might be different. It might be more or less than 55, but I think it's 55. So you don't really own the full percent of your company when you get over there. And I think it's only like that for like the first 10 years or 5 years or something like that. But you can get 100% eventually. And it also depends on what type of company that you start when you get over there. Because there's some companies you can start to where you can get 100%. So there's a lot of different variations of things that you can do. But for the most part, jobs over there, if you speak Thai, very fucking hard language to learn. You know, most people do translators or teachers. Some people go there and teach, but they teach in the expat zone, so they can teach English or teach school, you know, for English kids or American kids or expats over there. So there's something you can do as well where you don't have to learn Thai. Yeah, it's a lot of different jobs over there, so it's cheap. The best thing that I would recommend is doing something online, because then all you need is an internet connection. Another reason for Shopify, having a Shopify store on the site, especially over there where you can get a lot of import and you get shit cheap, then that's easy, because then you could just be at home on your computer making money. And then since the cost of living is so cheap over there, you're gonna be fine. That money you make doing that sustain you. You'll be good over there. But it's worth the move if you think about it. So Cullum Taylor, yeah, that's perfect. So not so much your perspective, right? Because you can't really, saying shift your perspective is almost like saying change your mind, but you can't change your mind on something that's true, if you understand. Like, it is what it is. Like a perspective is going to be your point of view of something, but if that something is a truth to it, the truth is the truth. It's just, you can't look at something, differently from what it is, if that makes sense. So it's going to be about not so much shifting your perspective, but accepting what is, right? And then figuring out how you can work with that, how that works with you, whatever the situation may be. Okay, you say, oh, I'm broke, I'm down on money. Accept that, and then accept what you need to do to get out of that situation. So, like, your point of view of it could be accepting exactly what it is, or your point of view of it could be to put the blame on it. So your perspective, so to speak, I guess can be, I'm only poor because, this or that, whatever you choose to blame, instead of you accepting the truth of it, that the money ain't there, forget the reason why I need to move on and figure out what I need to do to remedy that situation. And that's where you need to be putting your energy into the remedy, and not the problem itself, about just fixing it. Once you begin to accept what that plan is, excuse me, and meditate on it and do what you need to do, you create that different atmosphere, that energy for what that plan is. And then you begin to attract those things to you. And that's how it works. Like some people, you start to see it after a while. Like the path you go on, it leads you somewhere. So, a lot of people ask me about boxing. I've been posting all the boxing stuff on my Instagram. But the way shit happened, it's like a meant to be type thing, and that's the only way I can look at it. I mean, just going all the way down to where I'm living right now, everything is just made perfectly. Running into Antonio Tarver, and his brother and his manager have been following me for years, and I had no clue. And then that was just dope. It's just being already in boxing, and then people already following your work and interested in what you're doing and want to look out for you or what have you. It's cool. But it's like an atmosphere. Like, you get involved in stuff and you push it to its fullest point. You don't bullshit yourself. Then all the good stuff that's supposed to come from it will come. And I've been seeing that for a long time in everything that I do. When I get into some shit, I try to analyze every perspective of it, and there it is. So I'm actually going to go meet Freddie Roach this Sunday. So you guys you'll see that picture on my Instagram. So I'm already around, so you guys seen the photos, I'm around so many people in boxing, it's so deep, but that's how it goes. And to start from only knowing a few people to meeting like a whole bunch of people in boxing, and the training is different. We got a good trainer, good coaches, and it's cool. It's been working out, and it's just how it goes, that energy, man. Pulling that right energy to yourself and trusting in the energy of the people that's around you. It's a lot of people that's faith-based around me, Christianity, Islam, Masonic, so many different people, different energies, but me having the understanding that it's all the same shit, and not pulling myself left or right, up, down, just me being me, grounded in what I know, everything works out. So I always tell people, man, just look out just worry about what you know, focus on you, and the rest will work itself out. You'll be all right. Yeah, don't be around nobody that's giving up. Yeah, Anthem, I think so too. I think XRP going to hit the double digits by the end of the year. Yeah, I was just saying that shit in my last video. I hate complaining people. Complaining motherfucker, I can't stand. I get away from people. I'll walk away from you so quick. If you know me, everybody who knows me knows that I do not complain. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, I'm not saying in you know, just a practical sense, like, you could be at a fucking in traffic, and traffic is fucking back. They be like, God damn, what's going on? You know, you're not complaining, you just grappling about the immediate situation. But I'm talking about when people complain about shit that they fucked up and they know they fucked up. You know, life shit. It's just like, you know, there's complaining, then it's a constant complainer. Right? Somebody complain about the same shit, different day, like what you complained about yesterday ain't the same shit as, you know, 2 days from now. It's the same shit. You know your situation and what you're in. Why are you constantly complaining about the same thing instead of going to fix it? Right? So I can't stand a complaining motherfucker that I done gave advice to and they didn't take it and they complaining. That's a lot of family members that I know. Same type shit. You know, I've laid out blueprints for so many people. Hey, you need to do this. You should do that. This is the way this shit be done. And they think you crazy. They go look at shit, you know, they go make up their mind about shit that don't even exist just to get out of fucking some work, right? Because some people are procrastinators. They're lazy. They don't want to take the fucking advice because they'd rather be fucking lazy. That's why I said laziness is the fucking demon. Like, if you're going to procrastinate, you're not going to do what you're supposed to do in any situation or field that you're in, then accept the consequences when they happen. But a lot of people don't realize some people come into your life, like, you know, when Christians say this shit, oh, God put people in your life, they talk about the universe, the same shit. They're just looking at it from a Christian point of view. I'm telling you from a conscious point of view. There are people that come into your life that attract the universe. Your subconscious brings certain people to you, and they're giving you advice for a fucking reason. You got to pay attention to everything and really analyze it. Like, I don't understand this day and age that people, they hear shit. It could be coming from your best. That's the worst part. Because the advice could be coming from your parents, your brother, sister, and you blow it off because you know them. You know how, you guys know how it is. Like, if you're talking to your brother and sister about some shit, they don't want to hear that shit. They just think you're trying to be smart, whatever it is. But if a stranger say something to them, they all fucking ears. Like I was saying before, you'll have people who you know for years wish celebrities a happy birthday. Like, that shit always blows my mind. Like, but they won't say happy birthday on your birthday. Motherfuckers will post a whole post about a celebrity birthday, but it won't even say what's up to you. You know, that's weird shit. So you'll see this shit all the time. But you understand, sometimes people come into your life to give you advice and information to help you push through something, and you gotta really consider all information from everybody and really process it and think about what's best for you. But I get it so many times where people who have laid out a blueprint for their fucking life to make their life better, and they don't follow it, and then they end up failing. And then it's like, what the fuck happened? Did you do this? No. Did you take care of this? No. So what the fuck is you complaining about? Obviously you wanted to be where you are, right? So complainers, man, trust me, there's usually people that procrastinate, they fuck up on their own. They're looking for something to blame, anything to blame or excuse the reason why they made the choices that they made. And I can't stand that either when people complain about shit and then they make excuses for their own downfalls, for the choices they make that was bad. And that's why they're where they are. Everybody can go back and look at the situation and say, damn, I fucked up here, right? And it's just how it is, man. You got to make the right decisions and right choices, and, you know, don't complain about where you at. No, I did that. What's that? I am an idea. So what video was that? So on one of in the Shopify Amazon course, there's a whole part in there about that. I'll show you guys on After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, and how to use certain sites to basically make promos. to make all kinds of ideas for ads and everything like that. And then I showed you guys my ads, my commercials that I put out for my shit. So I break that down. It's in there. It's in one of those videos. It's in that series. I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, it's a whole part in there about all that. I show you where to get the content from. Like, you guys see my intros, like how I do different intros for my videos. That's like, all that shit is pre-done. It's from programs. A lot of it is presets. I just edit a little bit here and there, and it's easy to do. You guys can all do that shit. It's not that hard, but I do break it down in the course and make sure shit look more professional, right? Like, my commercials look like real commercials. So you can do shit just like that, and I give you guys all the information on how to do all that. It's in there. It's in the course. Greece will be 4 days. 4 days in Greece. Oh yeah, Kenya for sure in the tech sector. Yeah, America does the same thing with foreign businesses for sure. It's just not that, the difference is we don't see that money, right? We can't point to where, you know, if that money's coming to us or not. They can over there. Flow Aces, what's the deal? Yeah, focus on the solution instead of the problem. Because the problem is the problem, right? What the fuck can you do about it? The reason why I don't complain, because when shit happens, it happened. Either it's in your control still, or it's outside of your control. When it's outside of your control, what the fuck is you complaining about? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do about it. It's done. You know, you move on, right? It's just like, okay, this happened. Let's fix it. Let's like, it's to react to it, and that's what you want. That's almost the setup, right? When your reaction to a certain shit can be your downfall, and it's like how you choose to react in moments. It's a big fucking deal, man. That's why you can't go off like the emotions, man. Emotions will fuck you up. Your own brain and all that shit will be against you. Your feelings will have you in a lot of fucking trouble. You guys know, a lot of people in prison and in the fucking ground because of their emotions. And it's like, you got to be way more conscious about shit and just really stop and think about, it's not really that big of a deal. You're like, you know, I could fix this. You know, and some people will hate that shit. I know I was with a girl who used to hate that shit, that I was always so positive, or always had a fucking fix or work around any problem. All right, so this is what we can do. Boom, boom, boom. I never fucking panic. I'm never going to like, oh shit. For what? What's done is done. You move on. You figure it out. You just can't react to certain shit like that. I mean, that's the military man in me, but at the same time, it's just a common sense thing, man. It's just like, I can't stand no bitching ass grown up. Like, the fuck is you complaining about? It's people people rolling around with no legs, man. That's one of the things that always get me when I see homeless people, or I see people like handicapped or fucking wheelchair, no arm, no leg. It's just so many people that have a fucking rough existence, and these motherfuckers complaining because they gotta go to work. Get the fuck out of here. You know how many motherfucking people wish they could go to work? Like, it's just crazy. I know it's like, you know, situations, whatever like that, but at the same time, like, what are you complaining about, man? It's motherfuckers right now that's running from bombs. They live in them fucking holes in the ground and all kinds of sick shit. And like, we got it so good over here. All you gotta do is do what the fuck you're supposed to do, and your life could be great. You know, educate yourself. Do what you know you're supposed to do. Stop bullshitting. And you can live good. Like, this is a good place to really blow up here. You can do so much. Motherfuckers, millions of dollars off of TikTok, social media, like, but some people choose to punch a clock. They choose to not educate themselves. And it just is what it is, man. So at the end of the day, I always tell people, if you didn't cheat yourself, you put all your fucking information, all your heart into everything you're doing, and you work hard at it, there's no fucking way you're gonna fail. And if you do, then you didn't. You bullshitted. You can't, you say you did. You ain't do everything you're supposed to do, because there's no fucking way you're gonna do everything you're supposed to do and do it correctly and fail. It just don't work like that. It's not universal, right? So when people be saying to me, oh, I did it, I know they fucking lying, right? Because if you did, you wouldn't be in this problem. You wouldn't be in this situation. Somewhere along the line, you fucked up, or there's a problem somewhere that you did not foresee, or, you know, you didn't plan for, and that's the reason. So you know, go fix that, and then things will be corrected. But you know, a lot of people don't make those choices. Yeah, accountability is everything. Gorilla Funk, what's the deal? Supra, what's going on? 48. Yeah, man, like, listen, you guys know this already. And nothing I said you guys don't already know. You guys already know this shit, and we know everything. It's just like, sometimes you got to be around, you know, the energy, the information to, you know, wake up what you already know. But you guys know all this shit already. You know, you just know it. Trust me. You here for a reason. You tune into this live for a reason. You follow my shit for a reason. Or whoever shit you follow that's conscious for a reason. Because you guys know it's there. It just has to be awakened. You guys know everything, right? It's just little things that you're going to pick up on that's going to wake you up and connect those dots for you. And that's what it's about. But you have those other people, man, and they fucking lost, bro. It's just like, there's so many lost people out here. I done had so many conversations with people that just like, I'm like, how are you alive, bro? Like, how did you make it this far? And I don't get it. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? The type of mindset that certain people are in. And I always look at it from, you know, the conscious me, and just be like, you know what, at the end of the day, you know, like they say, oh, God has a plan for you. And I always look at it like, you're a part of a plan. You have some type of purpose here because you're still here. And it's one of the things that you got to look at in a lot of situations. First of all, I always tell people, like, when I'm mentoring, when I really go deep with people, one of the things you got to do, and this will really fucking humble you, go look at the obituaries. Go look at how many people died today, right? Look how many people died yesterday. Go look that shit up. Check it out. And think about all the fucking hundreds of thousands of people that just died today. What the fuck is going on, right? There's so many people that's dying right now. Death is everywhere. There's people dying constantly. And you got to think about that. Like, when you start looking at shit in that way, the way I just explained before about how your subconscious works and people will be falling out, and people who live to a certain age, for what reason? Everybody say, oh, it's, you know, I've heard people 100 say I smoked my whole life, or I smoked till I was fucking 80. I'm still here, right? And then some people say, oh, God had a plan for you, or God bless you. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? That's what that means, you know. And people say God blessed them, or God gave them strength, or what have you. That's just saying your subconscious kept you here for whatever reason. That's all it means. But people just want to give it to the biblical God and not the God in that person, right? But you got to look at that shit, and all the people who pass on, the people who die, so much death that happens, man. So many people dropping and gone for whatever reason. Crazy shit, right? And it's just a calculation of people making choices and putting themselves in a certain frequency, a certain atmosphere that's outside of, let's just say, God, right? It's outside of the plan. So the warning in the Bible that God is giving the Israelites, which is us, all of us, right? The warning he keeps giving them, and keep telling these people, hey, follow my word. Hey, follow this. Follow the commandments. That's following yourself. That's all it is. Following you and the plan that's laid out before you. Plan, you're going to know what that is innately, right? And they're not doing that. And what happens at every turn? So if you think about it, as I always tell you guys, how the fuck, that's how I know that the Israelites is just a story, because black people, we ain't fucking stupid. Not like this. How the fuck these people seeing God? So think about it. They're witnessing the power of God. You are. That's us. We witness God every time we go to sleep. We witness God every time we do anything, right? We're witnessing the power of God. God is showing us his power. And we witness his power. Yet these motherfuckers still going out and sinning and breaking God's commandments and laws or what have you. And all the situations is be following them. It's the same thing with us, right? Same shit. You can have a person come into your life, or your subconscious could be telling you, hey, dude, do this. You should do that. And you don't fucking listen, then what happens? Problems arise, you know. You get locked up, right? That's the Hebrews in captivity, right? They wasn't paying attention. They did something wrong. They went against the law, right? The law of God, the law of them. And now they're in captivity, jail, prison, whatever, death. And when you begin to understand that shit and break it down, it's like, damn, you start to realize, like, yo, I need to get in tune, man. You know, R.I.P. Jared Maxwell. I learned so much from Jared Maxwell because Jared Maxwell was really, well, his deeper shit. A lot of his stuff is online, but a lot of his deeper shit is in books, or you'll hear it from what's his name? Who was that? I'm talking about. I forget the guy's name, but it's somebody who really followed his work. But Jared Maxwell was really about energy, getting in tune with the universe. He always talked about you got to get in tune with the universal God, right? That man, universal creator, that man called God, or what have you. He was always on that. He always hit that real hard. And understanding what get in tune means, right? And that's just like, you know, getting in tune with yourself and following the plan that you have, you know, set out for yourself, that your subconscious had. And beginning to see that you on that track. So when you start seeing those numbers, that's how you know. That's how you know. And it's like the knowledge is going to get you there. And that's what it begins with. So when when they're talking about Gnosticism, the Gnostics was talking about getting the gnosis. Because the knowledge, remember what they say, knowledge is the key, right? So the knowledge is going to put you on track to understand that you're on track, that you're following the right thing, right? So that once you start getting into this esoteric occult knowledge that we talk about, that's the knowledge it's talking about. That's the gnosis. That's going to put you in that right path so you can know, God and know what's really going on, right? So that's why I say all this information, all this shit we talk about, Kim, and all the ancient old shit, it's for a reason. It's for you to awaken shit within you that's going to put you on that right path. And you're going to know it when you get there. Who's that? Pack animals, low budget preacher, no game. Fuck out of here, the kid. You don't even know who I am. Pack animals. You the one who hopped in somebody live. You don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Angel, what's the deal? Yep, in Vegas. Yeah, numbers. You guys gonna see numbers. You're gonna see 9/11, 11/11, 444, 333, right? And I mean, it gets crazy after a while, right? Because you'll be doing shit like you'll have your back to the TV, right? Let's say you washing your hands. For some reason, you'll literally turn around and the game will be on and the clock will be at 9/11. And you be like, yo, what the fuck that you turned around in that instance and saw it? And it'll happen like that and you'll just brush it off as, coincidence. And it'll keep happening. Stuff like that are happening to where you'll have your head down, you'll be reading a book and then you'll look at the clock exactly at 9/11, right? Happens to me all the fucking time. It gets real creepy after a while. It's like, yo, what the fuck? When I was younger and it was happening, when I first started to pick up on it, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I just thought something was up. Like, I don't know. And then it really was happening more so after 9/11. I was just tripping because of 9/11, right? But then I had to realize before that, I was still seeing numbers. I was always seeing the 11/11. So once I became conscious and I understood what that shit meant, it started to hit me like, damn, this shit been here this whole time. Right? And it gets kind of creepy after a while in other ways that you'll pick up on. I'm not gonna talk about here. But yeah, you'll start seeing numbers and they will be undeniable to you what's happening. Oh yeah, D. Griff, you was talking about that. So I see the numbers again. Get rid of that damn apartment. Letting that monkey off your back, man. You was stressed about it for whatever reason. But your subconscious is always going to be reaching out to you. That's what those numbers mean. It's your subconscious letting you know consciously that I'm with you, that you're doing the right thing, you're on the right track, you're on the right track. Numbers is a big deal. And I highly recommend understanding, but I don't fuck with numbers. I know what they are, but I don't, because the calculations of it get kind of crazy. You can get caught up. Like it's real crazy. Like it's deep, and it goes into knowing some shit you're not supposed to know. If you understand, it's deep, and it's something that you'll learn. Down, we'll get into all that, but numbers is everything. Remember, numbers existed before us, right? We didn't invent numbers. Numbers was already here, right? We just gave them a sound. We just gave them an identity, but they always existed. They're always here. It always is what it is, right? And it's just, this is how you got to look at it. It's like, we just call it numbers, but it's always been. Everything is that. So when you start getting into binary and start learning, getting deeper into quantum mechanics or what have you, you start seeing reality, what it is, what everything is. And okay, so to go deeper with it, if you think about CERN, you know, basically ripping a hole into time and space or what have you. So if you stick your finger out in front of you right now, what's there, right? You stick your finger out, what's there? There's air, right? So air, you have particles there, you have atoms or what have you. Air is here. So that means there's something there. There's an energy there right in front of you that we call air, right? And then what else is there? We call it air, but it's what else is there? It's just space, right? What's in space? What is that? What is the air? What is the air making up in this space, right? Oxygen, you know, elements and so on and so forth. So there's energy there. Everywhere you walk is air, right? And if there's no air, what is that? You know, you can't be in there long anyway. It's a vacuum. So when you start to look at it that way, you know that there's a level that you can go into in this very space right here where atoms exist. You can get deeper into it and there's more there. We just can't see it with the naked eye. So when we think about opening dimensions, that's kind of what they get into, that we're going deeper and deeper into what's here. And, you know, let's get into string theory and understanding the energy, and it's going to go back to consciousness, and it's something deeper past that, right? When they start talking about black holes or what have you, and the sum of this consciousness starting to come into physical form makes up some of these things. But this, like, the math on that is on so many different levels, it's fucking crazy. It get loopy. But, you know, CERN doing the work that they doing, I mean, it was mind-boggling shit to make you really put into perspective dimensions and where we are and what we're doing here and what this shit really is. And, you know, I always get into religion. I talk about religion mostly, but there's so much more deeper shit that marries religion into the quantum world that's so separate from religion itself, right? And like, we got to start getting into that, because that's some real deep shit. But we'll get into that eventually. But it all goes back to numbers. That was my point. It all goes back to numbers and code and what have you, binary. Exactly, Mount. Still something there. It's just like, man, this shit is deep. It's real deep when you begin to understand all this shit. But, you know, like us, for us being here and just the physical or what have you is what we got to deal with. So we got to deal with matters on what they say, pleasing the physical, the flesh or what have you. So, excuse me. Unfortunately, and you know, here it takes money. And that's why the society has been about that, about getting people successful to where you can become free and you can be more spiritually free because you're financially free. That's why we started it that way. But XRP and stock and investing and everything to get people out of that fucking whole rat race so you can be more free and do what you need to do to have the time you need to really grow spiritually. What up, Kentucky? Sir Francis, what's the deal? Well, if you think about numbers, You can never understand them. I'm gonna tell you why, because they are forever, right? Infinite. There's infinite numbers. So like you can never understand the sum of it all because it goes forever. It just goes so far to the point where we haven't came up with a name for all of it because we can't count forever, right? So look at it in that way. To understand something, you have to understand the all of it, right? The encompass of it all. Everything, every point, or what have you. You can't put together a car if you don't have all the pieces, right? You got to know it all. So you can never truly know numbers, and you can never really truly know something if you don't have it all, right? So look at it in that sense. We're never going to have all numbers. We only can understand the numbers that we operate in that works with us in this frequency here, this situation that we're in. Other numbers that is fucking way longer, deeper, that we don't have the lifespan to comprehend is on a different level, different level, what have you. Something that you would have to deal with outside of physical. And who knows what the fuck is waiting for us outside of that, outside of this, as far as in dealing with numbers. Deep shit, right? It gets crazy. Now, there's only 9 numbers because there's no point of 9 numbers. So we're going to, of course, when you get to 10, you're going to start to recycle, right? It's just a smart way of doing it instead of having to come up with or invent different shapes for every single note, right? If you think about syllables, or if you think about decimals or any type of counting situation, imagine having to come up with a different fucking name trying to count to 100, right? Even though it basically sort of is, because, you know, 10 and 9 are different, 11 is different, still a different name, but we're still using, as far as in a physical sense or in a sense of just numbers, we're still using the same numbers. So we don't have to come up with different shapes for every single point. But that's all it is. It's only 9 numbers, but there's still an infinite way to put those 9 numbers, if you understand. Still infinite ways of combining those numbers. "45-degree discovery." Awesome. That's excellent point. Oh shit, yeah, I gotta get up early. Okay, so I got enough time. Where are all my videos? Just always where they've been at. Same space, Podia. Yeah, you guys know, like, stop. Like, yeah, it's only, everybody knows there's only 9 numbers, right? But of course, it's the same thing like with telephone numbers. You can make an infinite amount of telephone numbers, just like we got an infinite amount of numbers. So of course, it's going to be sequenced into different ones, 1 through 9. So yeah, it's still infinite numbers. We have infinite numbers, but of course, it's 9 numbers that's going to be sequenced to create, you know, of course, 10, 11, 12, 13, so on and so forth, all the way out to forever. I mean, that's just common sense. But of course, common sense knows it's only 1 through 9, right? That's the numbers that exist. But of course, we have 10, we have 11, which is just going to be a combination of the 1 through 9. That's just, that goes without saying. Because, you know, 10 is still a number. So it's 11, right? You got 10 fingers, right? So you know 10 exists. You understand? And that's just something to think about of past the 9. Like it was done for a reason. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you past. There's such thing as past 9. Right? We have 10 fingers and toes. Right? Most of us. Somebody didn't let go of that M80. Lost a finger. But yeah, so infinite numbers as far as in the sequence, you add them on. So you guys get it. Yep, in Vegas. France is fucking a weird shit. But one of the weird things in France is how much city is there, how much fucking old France is. So many old buildings and history there. It's crazy. It's humongous. Eric, what's the deal? Oh man, that's the easy one. Who's that? Antic? I don't want to say your name wrong, my bad. But yeah, it was common sense for me. Like I said, I grew up in church. I grew up in church, where my uncle was a preacher. I grew up being around fucking Masons and Shriners and seeing all that stuff growing up and seeing the Muslims run down the street singing. I've been around so much religion, like growing up. But like I said, what changed it for me was going to Egypt. That's all it took. When I joined the military, like I said, I literally joined, I'm bullshitting out when I say this. I joined the military believing that soldiers were soldiers of God, that we were fighting the good fight for God and fighting the evil in the world. That's what I really thought, because I was in a church atmosphere and I'm like, yo, these people are winning. So like, they must be fighting God's fight. That's what I want to do. Having a parent in the military was just like, okay, this is a no-brainer. But like I say, man, this is why we're doing a trip next year. Like when you go to Egypt, bro, like it's like maybe cliche to some of you, it's life-changing experience. Especially when you understand what it is and you look at it and say, why the fuck ain't this on TV every single day? Like, because to me, I feel like when you go explore this place, I feel like it should be on mainstream media every single day. We should be talking about what the fuck is there. How are we not talking about this shit mainstream? It is the biggest fucking all-in mystery on the planet of these fucking pyramids and everything that's there and how this stuff was done and what it's actually saying. So you look at that and then, me knowing the Bible, I'm like, okay, well, this, Ramses is everywhere in Abu Simbel. This is not even in the Bible. The pyramids is not in the Bible. So me seeing all that and seeing all this mystery and understanding that something was going on. So imagine you being a Christian and knowing the Bible, and then you going somewhere like Egypt and seeing shit that the world cannot explain. And it's not even in your Bible, right? So it's like, what the fuck is this? And then you realize it's the black land, it's black people. And then it fucks with you. So that's what started for me. So that started me down the rabbit hole, actually going there and seeing it with my own eyes. And that was it, man. Like I said, I had my battles with Satan and, studying and running into Satanism and still being scared back into Christianity, thinking it's something that I'm missing. I had the little shit in the back of my mind, people saying, oh, Satan went and built the pyramids to confuse us about Jesus. Then I realized that was fucking stupid. The one thing that got me out of it was that, but what really added on to it was those goddamn Save the Children commercials. The black kids in Africa, and I could never shake that shit. I'm like, well, these little kids supposed to be missionaries and Christians over there, and how the fuck is God, why God not taking care of these little kids, these little African kids? They starving. What is praying to Jesus for if he letting little kids and babies die? That fucked me up right there. right? So me seeing that shit was like what really helped break me out of it. And then the final straw for me was, of course, getting into the occult and Satanism and understanding what that was the final puzzle for me, the final piece, because that shit was something to me. I grew up on old rock and roll. I love Ozzy Osbourne, and I found out about Aleister Crowley from Ozzy Osbourne, right? He has a song called Mr. Crowley. So I'm like, you know, Mr. Crowley, talking to the guy, got into Aleister Crowley, understanding what that was. And when you start getting into Crowley, everybody pops out. So I seen the Beatles was talking about Crowley, Michael Jackson was talking about Crowley. What the fuck is this guy? What's going on with that? And then that's a whole other rabbit hole that's gonna lead you to a whole bunch of fucking sick, crazy, demonic shit. But it's all good. It's not that at all. It's some completely esoteric, occult shit that's so fucking dope. And once I figured all that shit out, then the spirituality shit was just natural, right? It's just normal. Yeah, e-commerce is gonna be the best bet for a lot of y'all, man. I'm trying to tell you. You're gonna start off, you know, getting a little extra $300-600 a month, and if you put your time and effort into it, it'll take off. E-commerce is where it's at, especially now. Think about it. Why are they pushing this thing? Why did Shopify even come out and exist in the first place? Digital currency is gonna change everything. People are just not seeing it yet. And I'm telling you, when it get to that point where all this digital money is gonna be a big factor, you're not gonna be able to get in with Shopify shit. All this shit is gonna be capped. I promise you. There's gonna be some type of law that's gonna cap all that shit. You're gonna wish you had a store already. Because this is what I want you to think about. And it's a such, okay, you guys know what the web is, right? I'm not talking about the World Wide Web. So you can be in a web, right? And it's a business thing. And it's almost like what's those things, like a Pollyanna or something like that, right? So let's just say you and 20 other companies are in the web, and there's buyers out there for products, right? And by you being in this system, this web, the system is going to make sure that all these buyers buy from each and every one of your stores, right? So let's just say at any one time, 100,000 people could be looking for certain products, and the program is going to make sure each and every one of these stores in the web is going to sell products to these customers. It's going to become automated. This is what they're talking about. When you pay attention, because I know motherfuckers ain't read it, when you pay attention to what Biden put in the bill about crypto, when you pay attention to what Trump was talking about with his big, beautiful bill and everything that's happening, right? You got to read this shit. This is what they're talking about. This is what I'm trying to prepare you for. They're talking about having these fucking hubs, these webs. So if your store, your electronic store is online, you can be a part of these things to where you're going to have instant sales. It's going to be the only way it's going to work. To where somebody's looking for something to buy and you sell it, you're going to automatically get a sale to who knows how many people, because your store is on this platform or what have you. If it makes sense. It's something I'm going to break down the line as it becomes more into view, right? So I want to reward the people that took the time to do this, because you guys are going to get caught up in it. I'm already in it. So like I said, when you guys get your store together and all this stuff starts to come into place, you're going to benefit greatly from it once this digital change happens fully. Like, the hustle is going to be minimal. You understand? The hustle is not really going to exist. There's going to be a certain amount of online stores, and everybody's going to be buying from them. And the fact that your store exists and sells properties, you're going to get sales. And this is going to be for the people who do good enough to transition over into wholesale, right? You're going to get money from both ends. You got to think about this. I'm trying to tell you. Like I said, you ain't got to buy shit from me. You don't got to buy my fucking course. Go do it on your own, but just do it. Don't complain about shit when it happens. Do it. Get it out the way. Set your shit up however you want to do it. Set it up. Get it going. Get it going. Get it running, because it's going to be a lot. It's the future. It's what's going to happen. It's plain and simple. You guys know the malls are dying. A lot of people not going to the malls. A lot of people are fine with shopping online. If they can get their product in fucking 2 to 3 days, they don't give a shit. Right? People got other shit to do. Supermarkets ain't going nowhere, I don't think. I think people like to go shopping for their food or what have you. Some people like doing that shit. I'm old school. I still like going to the mall. I don't know. But then walking the fucking mall all day, you're losing time. You be in a fucking mall, next thing you know, 4 hours done went by. Like, you're like, what the fuck? I could have just bought this shit online, right? So all that stuff is dwindling, especially in this newer, later generation, because kids are buying online more, right? It's just what it is. So I want you to think about that and what could possibly be coming up once all this crypto shit and, you know, stablecoin gets really implemented. Excuse me. C Knight, what's the deal? Get a Mac. There's no better laptop than a Mac. Get you a MacBook Pro, you're good to go. Yeah, listen, these kids are pussies. They on their computers all day long. That's the them. Remember, these people are not the 9. If you understand what I'm saying, they are not the 9. We are the 9. That's why we are where we at. They are not. These people are this new generation that's going to bring about something different. They're already getting their minds programmed and acclimated more to the digital age, right? That's why everything is computers and digital to them. They're going to be on and be something else, right? That's what they meant to do. But we're different. But yeah, it's just the way to go. I mean, it's when you begin to understand that there's no evil to it at all. To be honest with you, it's just going to look that way because there has to be duality in everything. It can't all be good. There has to be a yin yang, and everything is when you really pay attention. But I want you to just think about the ease of life. Everything being digital is going to be. It's just way easier. I mean, you already know. Shit, if you leave your wallet in the house, you can just tap with your phone and pay. Right? Imagine not even having to have the phone to talk. You just have some shit in your ear and you can just start talking. Right? Have a little button or some shit like that. Like, everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. So you guys are going to start to see way different, way crazier technology that's going to make physical life easier to acclimate, you know, to turn your mind onto digital, more into, you know, a virtual world, a different world. I mean, that's where we headed, man. It's like shit we see in movies that they've already been putting out for a long time, preparing us for this shit. Like, I always tell people too about movies and understanding when we see shit in movies and they say fiction. It's not fiction, it's a possibility. It's something that can happen because the idea had to exist, right? If the idea is there, then it can be made into reality because the idea exists. The only thing that can exist or won't exist is something that's never perceived. If it's been perceived, then that means it can exist. I mean, it could be possible. And I'm talking about, of course, things as far as on the physical level, right? So we'll see this stuff. We'll see this technology pretty soon. That's it, a MacBook. MacBook. But yeah, I'm on Facebook, of course. Dual citizenship, yep. Yeah, man, I really just started using it, to be honest with you, because I'm old school. But yeah, tapping your phone and pay for shit is just it. It's just easy. You know, it's, they made shit so much more easier, right? And they want this shit to be attached to way more physical digital shit. So, you know, Minority Report, you know, Demolition Man type shit. You got a fucking code in your hand, or they scan your eye to pay for things. I talked about this shit, Japan, the supermarkets, they already got them over there, where everything, shit is attached to your retina scan, Like you go walk in the store and it already know who the hell you are. All you got to do is walk in the store and buy shit. You grab stuff, put it in your cart, and you walk out of the fucking store because it's going to already bill you because it scanned your eyes when you walked in there, right? It's just dope. It's dope shit. So you got to look at that. So I'm like, the ease of it is cool, but it's like the security is not. So it's like they want to create a more stable, better fucking world for us to live in before they start implementing this type of security, because you got to have a different mindset of people to operate this shit. We can't have this type of technology in the world where motherfuckers will kill you because you stepped on their shoe. You know, in a world where it's so much criminal and, you know, poverty or what have you, and, you know, people gonna get their hands on this shit and figure out a way to hack your shit. Somebody hack your eyeball, your iris scan, and what? So they got to work around all that. That's why the change is going to come for a lot of reasons. The cleansing, they call it. Shit is going to change. Like I said, either you're going to be in or you out. Wealth is associated with sophistication. Remember that. Wealth is associated with sophistication. Where you being civilized, right? This is what they're doing. Pay attention. Because the people that harp on this and get into this XRP and understand how to grow wealth, this is who they want. This is who they want. If you fucking still, after everything that's going on, and you still too fucking slow or dumb, like to not take advantage of the shit, to stay in your 9 to 5 and not educate yourself and so on and so forth, what good are you? What good are you? They don't want that type of people. So you're gonna start seeing changes. The people who benefit from this is not so much about a wealth thing. It's more of a DNA thing, more of a, you know, consciousness thing. You get it, you understand, you get to move on. Everybody else gonna have a problem. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure you guys are not one of those people who have problems. And one, good night. Yeah, Joe, that shit get crazy. Imagine not knowing in the club. Oh man, like I always had an old soul. You know, I always was that old school dude. Like you know, I grew up on that 70s music and all that old shit, and it stick with you. And I was always intrigued with the past, like, and you start to see today why our parents were saying our music wasn't shit. And then you see it happen today. It's like, damn, it's just history happening all over again. We thought our parents was tripping when they was talking about our music, but, you know, we're talking about this generation music the same way. Android or iPhone? Both. I have both. I will never fucking have just one. Because one, like business wise, man, Android is good. It's just iPhone is just it's reliable. You know, it's just reliable. It's shit in iPhone that I love, it's shit in Android that I love. Like you know, fucking the camera that's in the new Galaxy Ultra, absolutely sick. It's amazing camera. Camera that's in the new iPhone is crazy. But it's just features in both phones that you just going to like. It just depends on what your twist of what you into. Now, if you have Apple products like a Mac and all that type shit, you want an iPhone. PC or what have you, you want an Android. If you got both, you want both. I wish I would try to choose between Xbox and PlayStation. Well, I gotta have both. I gotta have Nintendo Switch too. I gotta have my PC. But I'm more so a PC gamer because on PC I got everything. Emulators are the shit. And then now if you know your shit, you can emulate anything. Listen, the plan was already put in place. The biggest criminal element we seen on this planet was the mind. right? We talk about the modern day. The mob. Nobody was more criminal than the mob. Now, once the mob sophisticated and became who they was, the idea was to change the black man into the mob, right? So that we would be on TV and we would be seen as gangsters and we would be seen as thugs and hooligans the way the mob was. Because before you turn on the TV, back then, you were seeing the mob, all constantly on the news, bodies in the street. I showed you guys all this shit. You can go look it up. The same way we seen black people shot up in the street and the gun violence and the shootings, you seen all those clips all over social media where niggas running in gunfights and getting shot and clipped all on the block. That shit was the mob back in the day. All that shit was the same, except for it wasn't mostly on video like we have it today, just on video today, but it was going on. But you can see all the reports. Dudes getting shot in restaurants, dudes getting clipped, getting out their cars, drive-bys was the mob before we ever did it, right? So this is why when hip-hop came into place, everybody was a gangster. You know, Biggie and it was gangster. It was, you know, Caesar Lee, they was talking mob talk. You know, Goodfellas. You know, all that shit Diddy was talking about. All of them was gangsters, you know, Lil C's, Junior Mafia, right? The Don, all that shit was all mob shit. So if you 90s, you already know what I'm talking about. All that 90s hip hop shit was mob. So it was about turning us into them, right? That's what they did. So now we thinking we're the thugs and nah, we just stole their shit. That was never us. So we want to be gangsters so bad. That was never us. Remember what we used to do in the 50s and 60s. It was about knowledge. It was about growing, unity. They tricked us, right? When you start to see that shit, you don't want to be a part of it no more. And you realize what consciousness really is and that everybody else is just fucking fake. And this is why the white people look at us the way they look at us with this rap shit, because they know we just copied them, right? So think about an old school white dude or those people from that time who know that time. They know what that shit come from. Y'all walking around calling yourself gangsters. Now it's thugs. We try to create our own word, but we still say we gangster. I'm gangster. I'm a G, right? That's them. That's white folks. That was the biggest criminal element on the planet at the time. That was them. We just took that shit over, and then now we took it to the max. We took it to the fullest, right? There's no honor in it. The fucking mob at least had honor. It was about business. We doing this shit, and we're not even standing on business, right? My fucking mob would kill their own brother. They kill their family because business. You're doing business right, you're good to go. We don't even do that. So it's like the trick and the trap has been set already, and we still in it. We still in it. It's deep shit. So now, like I always say, man, it's not a coincidence. Like you look at the industry, right, and they only signing artists that's talking about killing black people and disrespecting black women, right? Which is why, like I'm from Philly, of course. You know, seeing Will Smith was on tour, or you think he's still on tour? This motherfucker sold out all over the goddamn earth. He been going on tour in Europe and all kinds of countries, selling out shit. Massive fucking crowds, crazy to hear Will Smith rap Men in Black and all kinds of shit. So I'm like, man, it's still a desire for clean rap, right? Because Will Smith shit has been clean. You can say what you want about the dude or what have you. He's always gave us good, clean music. He was never on the block with it. He was never killing niggas with it. It was always some fun, chill shit, and he don't get enough credit for that aspect of it. But you see him go on this tour and do his thing, and it's a fucking big deal because he has a lot of haters, you know, for the situation. But looking at it on that level, it's amazing, it's dope. But it just goes to show that we don't need to fucking rap about murder and violence and all kinds of shit that we're rapping about. We can have just fucking party, chill, cool fucking songs about progress and revolution or what have you, and people will love it. I mean, just think about how many songs that's in your playlist right now that's not about murder and fucking violence or what have you. Just chill ass songs, right? We'll be fine with just those, but that's not what they want us to have, man. It's this criminal element they want us to perpetuate to keep us exactly where we are. And the music is always going to reflect that because that's what they want us to reflect. And you know, the music is our culture. So, you know, it's deep shit, man. It just goes back into what I was saying before about choices. Like, you know, that music that you choose to bring in can influence you, and that's going to make you be something that you don't want to be. Yeah, I mean, it's like one of the things I can say about the youth today, they get it, they picking up on it, and a lot of people choose something more, a little more conscious now because the negativity is crazy. So when we did the hip hop lecture at UNLV, when I did the whole lecture at UNLV about that shit, it was good because a lot of the kids at the university were saying about the music, about how they feel when they listen to certain songs. They make them cringe, and I always say this shit used to make me cringe, certain bars, and I'd be like, that's a little harsh. And you know, I would just call myself, well, I'm older, maybe it's just me, but at the same time, it's like, yo, why the fuck is we saying this to each other? This shit is crazy. Why are we talking about this? You understand? It's like, we know we got problems in the hood, and we can't be fucking disclosing our problems to the fucking enemy, and that's exactly what we're doing, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like imagine you get pulled over by the cops, and the cop get ready to let you go, but your kid talking about something, yo, we got bricks in the trunk. You're like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, why would you disclose, you know, personal shit or sensitive information to somebody that's trying to do you harm or look at you a certain way? It's like, that's what's going on, man. And then these motherfuckers smiling in our face, giving us awards and money for doing it, for keeping us where we are, because there's a bigger picture to it all, right? And it's like, I don't understand how black people can't see that. That's how you know it's programmed. Like, this shit is a joke to me. People talking about, you know, Grammys and awards and all these shows and shit. That shit is a spit in the face. We the butt of the joke of all these award shows. We don't even know it. These motherfuckers laughing at us. These motherfuckers actually accepting awards for us keeping them oppressed. Game on. We can do whatever the fuck we want now. People at home watching it. It's fucking sick, yo. It's crazy. It's crazy when you really think about it. But they don't see it that way. Candace Owen is a fraud, man. Just her past alone is done. Like, I don't understand how people even jumped on her as if she's some type of positive influence for black people. She's been a fucking sellout. So now all she's doing is curving people onto whatever bullshit she's trying to curve them on. Like, that woman been done. To anybody that's conscious, you can see exactly what she is. My whole rule, and I've been saying this shit for a long time, my rule is this. Remember this. You do not get on TV if you're helping black people. You don't get no platform. They're gonna let you come on these shows and speak and you telling real truth? Fuck no. You don't get to come on fucking Breakfast Club and all these shows and these podcasts if you're doing anything good. Now, it may sound good to you because they mix a little bit of shit in there and they may say some shit that sound funky, but the overall message is to lead you astray. It's some bullshit, right? Or to get you to militarize or be more militant or different, or to fucking get all fucking goofy, so you can fall victim to the trap. But when you look at the core of what these people really doing and where they're trying to push you, it's never good. You don't get to go on these fucking shows if you're trying to help the people, man. Remember that shit. They're not gonna have you on. You don't get to go on Joe Rogan if you're trying to help the people. That shit may sound good, may sound like they're doing something, but you gotta pay attention. There's more deeper shit to it. I said that shit about Billy Carson years ago. People thought I was hating. And then Wes exposed it. I'm like, yo, why the fuck would you want to follow somebody that's promoting Jesus in any capacity? I don't give a fuck if we promoting on black, white, or what have you. When motherfucker promoting Jesus to you as being a real man that existed, you need to get the fuck out of there. Because Jesus is not a person that walked the earth. Jesus is you. Jesus is the fucking sun in the sky, right? It's metaphorical. But these motherfuckers want to be talking about this actual man that walked. Get the fuck out of here. But it is the actual man that walked. Jesus did exist, because man exists, when you understand esoterically. So they're kind of sort of not lying, but they're not telling you the esoteric part of it when you get it. But there's still all the other bullshit. Papa Lance, what's the deal? Peace pack animals. Why do people do that shit? You come on here for 2 seconds and talk bullshit, I'm just gonna kick you the fuck off. Like, motherfuckers have no life. Now you get to listen to me talk about you. You have no fucking life. Go get a life. Like, why would you come on somebody's live that you don't know who they are and what they're talking about? That means you have no fucking life. I'm not gonna go on somebody's live. I don't know what they talk to. It's YouTube. It's a bunch of fucking channels on here. I'm not gonna click on somebody's fucking channel and listen to them talk about some shit I don't know what they're talking about. Right? That's why I don't do too many fucking lives, because there's so many boo-boos out here that just interrupt for no fucking reason. And I'll be like, I can't smack them. Right? It kind of pisses me off a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, right? Simply bad. Goofy motherfucker. Like, I can't stand goofy people. Like what's, bruh, you corny. Just like on here trolling. You want to leave like a bunch of, like you can't be no man. What man does that? Like, that's some female goofy shit. You want to leave repeated fucking insults on here. Like, who the fuck, like, I'm supposed to engage with you? This shit is stupid. Yeah, it's crazy, but you know, you guys know I talk about all this shit in so many videos. It's just like you know, keeping stuff fresh in your mind at the forefront. Keep you from falling into a lot of those traps. The world is what it is, man. This is it. This is the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know, if you watching the Matrix series, you guys know I talk about it. I mean, you kind of, if you ain't feel the difference, think about Zion, right? Remember when they was in Zion? Zion had, even though it's a TV show, even though it's a movie, Zion had a feel to it. It felt real, right? It was like a fresh thing. Like, these people are living primitive, so to speak, but you know, there was the real world. It was different. And then whenever they went into the Matrix instantly felt fake. Even though we were seeing it as the real world, you picked up on that watching it on the TV. You could pick up that this world they're going into that looked like our world, our reality, is fake. If you didn't pick up on that or get that feeling, then you didn't understand it. But Zion felt real. It felt right? And then whenever Neo went into the Matrix, it felt fake to you. And then you just had to they really did a good job at putting that out there, man. Putting that whole feeling out there so you get it. And it's trying to desperately tell you that this is not real, right? This isn't real. You're basically a fucking energy in a body, right? That's what Neo was. He was in a pod with a bunch of tubes or what have you plugged into him. And he was basically an energy signature, right? That's what it was. And that's so deep when you understand what it really is going to. But the reality that we in, reality right now is just full of so much stuff, man. It's like we react to things, and you know, people we got to deal with constantly on whatever level. And at the end of the day, man, it's all about choices, right? We human, right? And when we say that we human, that means we are subject to our emotions and feelings, basically. That's all that really means. That we have a physical body, we can feel pain, and we are basically at the mercy of our emotions and feelings, our energy. And you have to master that so they're not manipulated left or right? Doesn't mean you can't get upset or get mad or what have you. You can get upset, you can flip out on anything. It's what you choose to do physically, what actions you choose to take, you know, or even say, you know, to the contrary, to the situation. So, you know, act accordingly, man. Life, you get one life. Make the right choices. That's what it's all about. Educate yourself and be into something that's going to get you to where you need to be. Let me see. People asked about the, society. Oh, yeah. Yeah, reassurance, man. That's that, the Bible telling you about confidence, faith, right? And that's another one, man. That faith shit. When you really understand what that really is, I could talk for days on faith, because faith is, let's just say, faith is almost like the fucking what's a good way to say this? Because like our choices is going to come from faith, right? Because you're going to choose to do something based on your knowledge of it, your understanding, right? So like if you know something is somewhere, you have faith in that choice because you know, so you go forward. So faith is a big deal. Faith is really the foundation of choices. So the Bible is talking about having faith, and it's talking about you, and it's all connected to knowledge, to knowing. Excuse me. Because the more you know, the more knowledge you have, the more you understand, the more sure you are of the situation. So you won't need reassurance because you just know, right? You have faith in it because you know for sure. You get it, right? So it's like, you know what you're supposed to do. Like, you shouldn't need reassurance in something that you know is the right move. But some people want reassurance in choices they don't really understand, right? And you don't really understand that choice because you haven't really dealt with it. You haven't really dwelled on it. You haven't really analyzed every aspect of the situation. And then sometimes that's not our fault. Sometimes things come fast and we don't have time to analyze. But still, it was a choice that led you to that point to where you didn't have the time, right? So it's always going to be our choices that lead us somewhere. The idea is having a plan, right? Having a plan and knowing what it takes to execute that plan, and having all your steps laid out. So when obstacles and things and choices come your way, you already know what to do. You already know the plan. You already know. You don't need no reassurance because you know, right? You have faith in your plan already because you know what you need to do. So when something comes along, you can just go ahead and execute, because that's a part of it as well. Execution. Football, right? Football is Masonic, right? You know the fucking play, bro. You know what the play is. You have to go and execute it. Your moves and everything. One, you got to read the defense. You have to execute your route. You got to execute your play. And if people can do this in unison as one, the play is going to be successful, right? You got beat by your man, it's probably a reason why you got beat. You wasn't fast enough. You ran the wrong route, whatever the situation may be. But we all know the plan. We all know the play. You just got to execute it, right? So if you have your goal, right, and you're trying to score, you're trying to get there, do you have to execute a series of events and plays? You have to make choices. Choose to throw to this person. Choose to run the ball. Make a choice to get to your goal, right? So it's something we all know. And we all know the plan. We all know what we got to do. We have to execute. We have to have faith in our plan, faith in our plays, execute them to the fullest. Don't cheat yourself, meaning run fast, right? Baseball, Masonic. You supposed to fucking run down that line to first base fast as possible. You jogging and shit and the guy dropped the ball. Oh, you would have been safe if you would have ran full speed, right? Execution. So it's so much, man. We see this on every level, and it's just like, in your human existence, you're just fucking human, man. You're just a regular person. So you got to be on point because you're trying to do extraordinary things. Don't cheat yourself. I say this shit all the time. Don't cheat yourself, because you're only cheating yourself. Like, what the fuck? Don't cheat yourself, man. Don't procrastinate. Anything you do, execute it to the fucking fullest. 100% all in. Don't bullshit. If you do that, you'll be fine. You're good. Everything works out, you're good to go, you move on to the next thing. Plain and simple. Reassurance, you don't need shit. You know the plan. You know what you need to do, execute. That's the main thing, execution. Sticking to your guns, sticking to the plan, execute it. Another boo-boo. right? And Dub, you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. No, cold wallets are not necessary. A lot of good questions. Yeah, so links in the description. So you go to my last video, link in the description to join the society. Link is in the description for the Shopify Amazon course, which the price hasn't been changed. Tomorrow's going to be different. Monday is the last day. That shit going to be $300 tomorrow. Make sure you grab that Shopify course. That's it. It'll be $300. I might put it up to $89 or something like that, but it's probably going to be $300. We'll see how it goes. Make sure y'all grab it. But yeah. All links is in the description of my last video. You guys know already what's going on. But get ready to get out of here. Work to do. Boxing tomorrow. A lot of shit coming up. But I want to make sure I get on here. Oh, what was this? Oh yeah, I already answered that question. Some people had questions about a few things. I'll make sure I talk about it. But you guys know for the most part, man. Yeah, same shit I talk about in a lot of videos. You know, shit is changing, man. We in that time. We're in that time where all this stuff that we've been talking about for years is about to come into play. We don't know in what way, left or right, but we know what's coming. So we're going to prepare for it. Change is getting ready to happen. And everybody's comfortable, but it's going to be subtle. Everything is always like boom. Right? It's only the people that can forecast is going to know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. But we know it's going to happen. So being prepared, getting ready for it. That's what we're doing. But yeah, let me get out of here. All links in the description. I'll see you guys next live. Peace. We gotta go.